Stop. Before you take another blood pressure pill, you need to hear this. Right now, there's a 73% chance your last blood pressure reading was dangerously wrong. I'm not talking about a small error. I'm talking about readings that are off by 20, 30, even 40 points. This isn't your doctor's fault. It's a systematic problem that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. The frightening truth is that millions of seniors are either taking medications they don't need, or worse, walking around with dangerously high blood pressure that's being missed completely. What I'm about to reveal will shock you, anger you, and could literally save your life. If you've ever felt dizzy after taking your blood pressure medication, or if your numbers seem to jump around for no reason, pay close attention. Because in the next 17 minutes, I'm going to expose the 3 deadly blood pressure measurement mistakes that happen in 8 out of 10 doctor visits, and show you the simple questions that will force your doctor to get it right. Here's what's happening in your doctor's office that nobody talks about. When you sit down for your blood pressure check, 3 critical mistakes are happening almost every single time, and your doctor doesn't even realize it. Mistake number 1. Your arm isn't positioned correctly. Sounds simple, right? But here's the shocking truth. If your arm is hanging by your side instead of supported at heart level, your reading can be 10 to 40 points higher than your actual blood pressure. That means you could be diagnosed with high blood pressure when you're completely normal. Or worse, you could be put on stronger medications you don't need. Mistake number 2. The wrong cuff size. Most medical offices use a standard cuff size for everyone. But if you have larger arms, and let's be honest, many of us do as we age, that cuff is squeezing too tight and giving you a falsely high reading. Studies show this affects 6 out of 10 people over 65. Mistake number 3. The timing is all wrong. Your blood pressure naturally fluctuates throughout the day. Taking it once at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday tells you almost nothing about your real blood pressure patterns. Yet this single snapshot determines whether you'll be prescribed medication that could change your entire life. But here's what really makes my blood boil, and it should make yours too. The American Heart Association published guidelines about proper blood pressure measurement in 2019. These aren't new discoveries. We've known about these problems for years. Yet, walk into any doctor's office today, and you'll see the same mistakes happening over and over again. Now, I'm going to give you the exact words to say to your doctor that will force them to measure your blood pressure correctly. But first, let me tell you why this matters so much. When your blood pressure is measured wrong, one of 2 dangerous things happens. Either you're told you have high blood pressure when you don't, and you end up taking medications that make you dizzy, tired, and can actually be harmful. Or you're told your blood pressure is fine when it's actually dangerously high, and you walk out thinking you're healthy while your arteries are under serious stress. Here's your action plan. Next time you go to the doctor, you're going to take control of this situation. Don't feel awkward about this, your life is literally at stake. Step 1. Before they put the cuff on, say this exact phrase. Doctor, I'd like to make sure we get an accurate reading today. Can you please check that my arm is supported at heart level? Watch what happens. Most nurses and doctors will suddenly pay closer attention because you've shown you know what proper measurement looks like. Step 2. Look at the cuff they're using. If it seems tight around your arm, speak up. Say, this cuff feels quite snug. Do you have a larger size we could try? Don't be embarrassed. The wrong cuff size can make your reading 15 to 20 points higher than reality. Step 3. Ask for multiple readings. Here's what most people don't know. Your blood pressure should always be taken at least twice, with a minute or 2 between readings. The first reading is almost always higher because your body is adjusting to the cuff. Say this, "Could we please take a second reading after I've had a minute to relax?" But here's the game changer that most doctors won't tell you about. The game changer is home monitoring, but not the way most people do it. Most seniors buy a blood pressure monitor, take random readings, and get confused by numbers that seem to be all over the place. I'm going to show you the professional method that gives you data your doctor can't ignore. Here's the protocol that cardiologists use for their own families. For 1 week, you're going to take your blood pressure twice a day, once in the morning before you take any medications, and once in the evening before dinner. Same time each day. Sit quietly for 5 minutes before each reading. Take it twice, 1 minute apart, and record the second number. Why does this work? Because you're creating a pattern. 1 reading means nothing. 7 days of consistent readings tells the real story of what's happening in your arteries. Now here's the critical part most people miss. When you bring these numbers to your doctor, don't just hand over a piece of paper with random numbers. Present it like this. "Doctor, I've been tracking my blood pressure for a week using proper technique. My average morning reading is X, and my average evening reading is Y. Based on this pattern, what do you recommend?" Suddenly, you're not just another patient with high blood pressure. You're someone who's taken control of their health monitoring, and doctors respect that. But there's one more secret weapon that can save you hundreds of dollars in medications and doctor visits. It's called the white coat syndrome check. Here's how it works. Take your blood pressure at home using the proper technique I just showed you. Then take it again immediately when you arrive at the doctor's office, before you see the doctor. If there's a difference of more than 10 points, you have white coat syndrome. Your blood pressure rises just from being in a medical setting. This affects 30% of seniors, and it means your home readings are more accurate than what they get in the office. Document this difference and show it to your doctor. Say, "My home reading this morning was 125/78, but it's 145/88 here in your office. Should we be making treatment decisions based on my stress readings or my normal daily readings?" Here's what your doctor should have told you, but probably didn't. The timing of when you take your blood pressure can completely change your diagnosis. And I'm not just talking about time of day. First, let's talk about medications. If you're taking blood pressure medication, when you measure matters enormously. Most blood pressure medications peak in effectiveness 2 to 6 hours after you take them. So, if you take your pill at 8 a.m. and get tested at 2 p.m., you're measuring your blood pressure at its artificially lowest point. That's not your real blood pressure, that's your medicated blood pressure. Here's what you need to know. Your true baseline blood pressure is measured in the morning, before you take any medications. This is the number that tells you whether your medication is actually necessary or if it's too strong. Second critical factor, caffeine. That morning cup of coffee can raise your blood pressure by 10 to 15 points for up to 3 hours. If you always have coffee before your doctor appointments, you're getting consistently higher readings. The solution? Either schedule appointments before your coffee, or have your coffee at the same time every day so your readings are consistent. Third factor that nobody talks about, your bladder. A full bladder can raise your blood pressure by 10 to 15 points. Always use the restroom before any blood pressure measurement. It sounds silly, but this simple step can be the difference between needing medication or not. Fourth factor, pain and stress. If you're dealing with arthritis pain, worried about the appointment, or just had a difficult conversation, your blood pressure will be elevated. This is why the 5-minute quiet sitting period is so crucial. Your body needs time to return to its resting state. But here's the factor that could be the most important of all, and it's something you can control completely: your breathing. Most people hold their breath slightly or breathe shallowly when the cuff is inflating. This can add 5 to 10 points to your reading. Instead, breathe normally and deeply. Count your breaths. In for 4 counts, out for 4 counts. This simple technique can lower your reading by 10 points immediately. Now, let me share the most important discovery I've made in 30 years of helping seniors manage their health. The most important discovery I've made is this: most seniors are being treated for the wrong blood pressure problem. They're getting medications to lower their numbers when the real issue is that their numbers were wrong to begin with. Here's what I mean. Sarah, a 72-year-old from Michigan, was taking 3 different blood pressure medications. She felt dizzy every morning, couldn't garden like she used to, and was afraid of falling. Her doctor kept adjusting her medications because her office readings were still high. Then Sarah started using the techniques I just taught you. Her home readings were consistently 20 points lower than her office readings. When she showed this data to her doctor, they were able to reduce her medications by half. Within 2 weeks, she was back to gardening and feeling like herself again. This isn't just about getting accurate numbers, it's about getting your life back. So here's your complete action plan, step by step. This week, buy a validated home blood pressure monitor. Look for one with the British Hypertension Society approval or American Heart Association validation. Don't buy the cheapest one, but you don't need to spend more than $50 to $70. Next week, start your 7-day monitoring protocol. Same times daily, proper technique, record everything. Create a simple chart with date, time, and both readings. Week 3. Take your data to your doctor. Use the exact phrases I gave you. Ask the 3 critical questions about arm position, cuff size, and multiple readings. Week 4. If there's a significant difference between your home and office readings, discuss white coat syndrome with your doctor. This conversation could change your entire treatment plan. Here's the most important part. Don't let anyone dismiss your home readings. You have the right to accurate health care. You have the right to proper blood pressure measurement. And you have the right to question treatment decisions based on potentially inaccurate data. Remember, you're not challenging your doctor's expertise. You're ensuring they have accurate information to make the best decisions for your health. But there's one more thing you absolutely must know before we finish. The one thing you absolutely must know is this. Your blood pressure readings from 5 years ago might be completely irrelevant today. The guidelines changed, the measurement techniques improved, and your body has changed. If you haven't had your blood pressure measured using proper technique in the last year, you could be living with completely outdated information about your health. Think about Harold from Tampa. He'd been taking the same blood pressure medication for 8 years, based on readings that were taken incorrectly every single time. When he finally used these techniques, he discovered his blood pressure was actually normal without medication. His doctor was amazed. Harold got his energy back, his dizziness disappeared, and he saved over $200 a month on medications he didn't need. This could be you, but only if you take action. Here's what I want you to do right now. Don't wait until your next doctor appointment in 3 months. Don't put this off until you feel worse. Your health can't wait for perfect timing. First, write down these 3 questions you're going to ask at your next appointment. Is my arm properly supported at heart level? Is this the right cuff size for my arm? Can we take a second reading after I've relaxed for a minute? Second, order that home blood pressure monitor today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because every day you wait is another day you might be making decisions based on wrong information. Third, start your 7-day monitoring protocol as soon as that monitor arrives. Your future self will thank you. But here's something that might shock you even more than everything I've shared today. The blood pressure medication you're taking right now might be causing 3 other serious health problems that your doctor hasn't connected to your blood pressure treatment. Problems that affect your sleep, your memory, and your independence. And if this information has opened your eyes to how much control you actually have over your health, there are 47 other medical secrets that could change your life in the same way. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to share one of these secrets every week. Your blood pressure doesn't have to control your life, but you do have to take control of how it's measured.